grammar is important, but it's not that much. You said that 20% grammar can help you to speak 100%. It's not true. Along with grammar, vocabulary is important. If you do not have enough vocabulary to speak, you are not able to speak, even though you are master in grammar. And I bet you on this person can create structure with the grammar, but at least he needs word to speak. So that is called vocabulary. That's not grammar. So vocabulary is important. Grammar might not important because we can learn it just by listening to others. That's what I want to say.
Okay, so very good afternoon, ma'am. How are you doing today?
Very good afternoon. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. You tell me, how are you doing?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Stephen Sound and doing pretty well in my life. Thank you for your kind concern.
Okay.
Yeah, so since I started my journey of learning this language, there's always a controversial topic which I got, and still a lot of students are a bit confused about this topic. So just want to ask you, what do you think? Is grammar really mandatory in order to speak English fluently? Yes or no?
No, not at all. It's not important.
It's not important. Okay, fine. Now just do let me know why you think that it's not important.
See, we have learned our mother tongue, Hindi, without learning any grammar rule. So we can also learn English in the same way without learning any grammar rule. So for that reason, I thought that grammar is not that important. It's only us who are more focused on grammar. We thought of like that if we will learn grammar, we will be able to speak English, but that's not true. Even though when we were not good with the grammar in Hindi, we used to speak fluent Hindi since our childhood. Yeah.
But ma'am, let me speak a sentence and do let me know what you get from this sentence. Uh,
Okay.
is name my Shiv? Did you get what I said?
Yes, I still get it.
Okay, fine. So let me say this. Could wait. Could did not pentabulous I am saying.
That's difficult because of
That,
your vocabulary, not because of your grammar.
ma'am. That's what I want to make you understand, ma'am. See, if someone who is not proficient like you and at a very intermediate or beginner level, and the person will talk with someone who is not using grammar and who is really bad in his grammar, will speak English in this way as I have spoken, two sentences. So grammar is really essential because without grammar, you can't even frame a single sentence. And even though if you are able to frame, it doesn't make any sense. I said is name is my Shiv. That's an incorrect sentence just because I like everything is there, every single word is there, but I haven't used grammar. And that's why I sound weird. All right, I have to say my name is Shiv. That's the correct sentence and that makes some sense. So here I can say like grammar is so important. Without grammar, you can't even speak a single word. You are saying that you believe like grammar is not important. Now then tell me, why are you speaking grammatically correct and you're not making a single mistake for grammar?
Because I have been listening these sentences for a very long time, and now I have learned it that this is how we should say these kind of sentences. This should be the structure of a sentence. This is only I have learned by listening, not by any grammar rule. If you even talk about me, I'm a great example for you. I would say that because I haven't learned any single grammar rule before learning this language. Even now, I am not focusing grammar separately. I'm just learning day by day just by listening. For example, how did you learn Hindi? You did not answer me what clarification I have given to you about learning Hindi. Like since our childhood, no one teaches grammar. Like this is a bahuvachan, this is a ekvachan. Slowly, gradually, when child listen to these kinds of conversation or sentences on daily basis, he automatically understand that this is how we should make the structure. He doesn't even know like what is subject, what is object, nothing, not at all. Kids start learning grammar in school. That is also after 3 years, like in nursery, LKG, UKG. There's no grammar, but still these days, kids studying in nursery grade, they can speak fluent English. How? If grammar is that much important, it means that a person should not speak English. You can say that grammar is important to form a sentence, but not to speak English. For forming a sentence, grammar is important. But if for a person who wants to speak English, for him, grammar is not important. He can learn English without putting these grammar rules.
And you said like we haven't learned grammar for our native language Hindi, but ma'am, I'm not sure whether you have studied Hindi or not, but there as well we have learned. Okay, for speaking Hindi, we haven't learned. I accept it because the reason behind is we have been speaking our native language since our childhood. Our parents were speaking Hindi, okay, and we used to listen them. We have observed them. Then after a period of time, that we have started imitating them, and on the basis of that imitation we have learned this language, and that's how we could speak fluently in our native language. But in and we have been speaking our native language for last 21 22 whatever we have like age right now, like, okay. But in case of English, we haven't started speaking English since our childhood. It just maybe after class 12, after your college life, maybe you have given some interview somewhere, and on the basis of that rejections, and you find like communication is very important. If I would not speak English, I can't even ensure my selection there in any interview, and that's why you started learning English, right? But in initial phase, I can't believe that you can speak in the same way as you are speaking right now. And second thing is that you said like grammar is not important. Now tell me, for example, okay, for example, if anyone wants to learn English and he will just apply for a course and he will join an institute, I can tell you, ma'am, more than 90% institutions are there who teach English, and they start from grammar only. They don't take any spoken English classes directly. Like, okay, first say this. My name is this. My name. No, they always teach them that what is subject, then object, then verb, and then tenses, then preposition, then modals, then articles. And when they feel like now he or she got all the theoretical knowledge which we want to share with him or her, and then after they start their speaking practice, but not an initial phase. And then you are saying that grammar is not important. So why is
It's
it
not.
so?
I'm still saying that it's not important. And I would like to prove my point by saying it that the time has been changed now. Earlier, we did not have this much exposure of English language around us. Now we have so much of exposure. Even if we are going to open a book, it is in English. We are going to open a phone, we will find everything in English. No one sets the phone language is like in Hindi, except the lower class people, the very lower, like they do not know single letter of English. They only operate their phone in Hindi language. I have never seen anyone who is operating his phone in Hindi language or any other language except English. So we have a lot of exposure of this language already. Like there is no such need to introduce basic things again and again. If you talk about us Indians, we have already studied English or grammar rules in our childhood, in our school days. We used to learn all these grammar concept and all. We know everything. So now it's time to speak. You ask me, grammar is important or not from the point of view of speaking. For a for if somebody wants to speak in English, for him grammar is important or not? No, not at all important. He can learn English without learning grammar rules, just by surrounding or creating an environment of English. How did I learn? I have created my own surrounding. I start speaking in English. I start watching English shows. I start listening podcast. Whatever I'm doing, I'm just trying to surround myself with this language. Even though when I was cooking, I have this phone on and I used to listen something and something every time. So this is how, like, when a whole day I'm surrounding myself with the English language, people are speaking something and something. Obviously, if you will listen 100%, 70% of that listening will enter in your mind, and you may need to think like, okay, this is how we have to say this sentence. In this way, you can learn English. Want to, if you do not want to go typically by the method of learning English, you can learn this way also. This is my point.
Well, ma'am, you are saying that for speaking purpose, grammar is not important. Now, do let me know. There are many people, they know very well what exactly they want to speak. Thoughts are there, ideas are there, and they have answers. They have stuff about the topic, but still, just because they don't know from where they have to start, just because of sentence formation, they the thoughts are running in their mind, but just because they are not able to make a meaningful sentence and they are feeling hesitate to speak, they feel okay, let it we skip it. Why? Because of that grammar rule. I have seen many people, when they are speaking, they have divided their mind into two different parts. First, the one part of mind is checking their grammar. Am I speaking right? Am I speaking wrong? Shall I use have or has? All right. But they feel, if I am aware of these grammar rules, so then they will just focus on the speaking. The second part of mind who is actually thinking about the content which he has to speak. So the one who has a good understanding of basic grammar, I'm not even asking to learn advanced grammar rules, because I believe no one use 100% grammar in speaking. Agreed. But at least basic understanding of grammar is must. Otherwise, all the time you would start fumbling, stucking and stuttering, and you will feel hesitant in order to take your first step in order to cover the journey of being fluent in this language.
I think your answer already lies in your question. Why people are stucking? Because they are thinking too much about grammar. If they don't think about grammar, they are able to speak fluently. Most of the people, if you won't believe, I'm going to post this video on my channel, and I would request you people tell me honestly that I have this idea through the people only. They say that, ma'am, we know all grammar rules. We have good understanding with the grammar. We have only problem in the speaking. The moment we open up our mouth, we always think about like what grammar rule has to be applied. Just because of going deep into the grammar rules, they are not able to communicate. So I think person should not think about the grammar rule. Instead, he should speak whatever comes in his mind at that moment, because when you listen something, that stores in your mind and you try to answer in the same way. So rather focusing on grammar, I think you should focus on speaking more. You should start imitating others, like how others are creating sentences. This is how you can learn better English. And I have a great example for that. I still remember when I was learning English, I had this problem that I could not understand had been, have been. I did not have any idea that how to use them. So I started listening these kinds of sentences in YouTube. So also, like, the grammar exercises are also given, and person is just speaking them sentence by sentence. So I do understand, okay, he's saying I have been doing this work for a long time, so I started copying his one line in different sentences. For example, I have been studying, I have been dancing, I have been doing this, I have been doing this. This is how this one particular sentence come into speaking. This is how I have learned this. I did not go deep into the grammar rule, like where is subject, where is verb, where is V3 form, where is V2 form. I don't go in deep into that. I just copy one sentence and I try to make different sentences out of that one particular sentence. And this is how I learn how to use it. So still I'm saying grammar is not important for speaking English. If you want to write, if you want to read, grammar is important. Not even for reading, I think. I think it's important only for writing.
Wow, so there is no value of time. Now there is no value of the time. What is the time duration? Like the sentence which you are speaking is already happened in the past, or it is happening at present, and it will happen in future. For you, I drink water is means, though he has already drunk the water, but he say I drink water. What you will get from that? You will think now that usually he drink water. It's a present indefinite
I
tense,
drink
right?
water, I
That kind
eat
of
food.
intuition will
This
get.
is how I can
Maybe
create
he wants
sentence.
to say that I'm drinking water. I meant to say like he's taking he's having water. Okay, but he don't know. Sorry, he doesn't know the correct sentence formation. Like I have to use verb then plus ing form, and then only it comes that I'm drinking water. It means still I'm drinking water. But for you, from your point of view, I drink water is the same as I drunk water. I'm drinking water, or I have been drinking water. So
You are
there
interpreting
you don't
wrong.
need grammar.
No, no, you have
No,
not
that's what
correctly
you are
interpreted
saying.
what I said. No, no, no. I will learn different sentences with different
Okay.
activities. It's not like that I'm
Mhm.
for somebody says I'm playing. So I'm creating similar sentences. I am playing, I am walking. I am cooking. So I know that whatever I'm doing in present, where I'm using these sentences. See, people have this much intellect. They can understand if somebody is saying I am drinking, it means मैं पानी पी रहा हूँ. तो I am playing means कि मैं खेल रहा हूँ. They are not going to transfer it in past or something else. See, we all have intellect. It's just need that we need to use it at right place. Grammar, see, since it's a debate, I'm not favoring grammar. Otherwise, I have few points where I can focus on grammar too, that why it is important. But I'm not gonna say that you have to define why it is important. I'm just against that person can learn English without any grammar rule. That's it.
Well, okay, fine. Just give me one example. If it comes to you and you want to rate my spoken English, how much you want to rate out of 10? And be honest.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Seriously.
Yes.
But I don't
Yes.
think that you want to give me 10 out of 10 because I'm the one who is always stuck just because of my grammar. I'm making a lot of mistake in my grammar because I don't know grammar, and that's why I I change my thoughts. Whatever you're talking to me, I want to answer you in a better way. Thoughts are there in my mind. Everything, I have a perfect answer for you. But the problem is, as soon as I've started speaking, I'm changing my thoughts because exactly I'm not getting that sentence, that meaningful sentence which I wanted to speak, which I had in my mind because of this grammar. This grammar is stopping me because I took English as a language. I haven't learned grammar. And that's why I'm not feeling that much confident in order to talk with people who are far, far better than me, as like you. You are speaking so quickly. You are just responding spontaneously. You are not even taking a second in order to answer my question. But in my case, I need to listen you very carefully. Then I have to process the information in my mind. Then I have to
Okay.
speak. And even though when I'm speaking, I'm changing my thoughts. Why? Just because of this grammar. So that's what I'm telling you. If I would have learned grammar the way it has to be learned, to be very frank with you, I could speak English as you are speaking right now. So somewhere grammar always stop you to come up with your original, real, and genuine thoughts, rather to avoid the awkwardness of your stuckness, fumbleness, you might change your thoughts. And it's not a good idea. Then,
Okay.
no
So
matter how intellect you are,
My thinking is totally opposite. You are saying that because of grammar you are stucking, and my point of view is also same because of grammar. Because you are thinking too much about grammar, you are stucking. If you forget about grammar and focusing more on speaking, you will be able to speak fluently. And this is your thinking that you are stucking here and there. It's your mistake. Recently, I have seen a few minutes ago, you have corrected yourself. You have corrected yourself. You said he do, and then quickly, like after a few seconds, you made a correction like he does. Why is there this kind of need to correct everywhere? We are a human. If we are making any mistakes, it's just okay. Don't focus too much on grammar. If you keep focusing too much, words are not coming out of your mouth. If you want to speak flawless, you have to forget about the grammar rules or other things. Try to just express your thought. What do you want to actually express? It's not like that you know the complete grammar, that you can make the good sentence and you can speak flawlessly. No, even if you know correct grammar, then also you are going to stuck because your thought process is slow. I would not say that because of grammar you're not able to do it. Your grammar is good and I know that it's good. So don't blame grammar. Grammar has not played any role in this. Especially if I talk about you, you are speaking so well. And sometimes if mistakes happen, it's just okay. That's a part of your journey, or your like not. Don't you make any mistake in Hindi? I used to make.
no,
I make.
I don't.
Oh my God. So, like, you are the perfect one. I don't think that we all make mistakes in Hindi as well. We say, I will tell you a few example. Um, what do we call bhaiya? Bhaiya, just pronounce bhaiya. How to say that?
Bhaiya,
No, it's not the correct pronunciation. It's bhaiya. Bha, do ek hi matra aur ya, bhaiya. So there are so many words which we mispronounce. So many
okay.
words. It's only one I have shared with you because these days I'm teaching my son Hindi, and I'm finding that we used to speak it like in a absolutely wrong manner. The pronunciation part, especially, it's wrong everywhere. I will give you two to three more examples. Just a minute. Let me think. Dopaher. How to say dopaher?
Dopahar,
Dopahar. दो पहर,
वो है
दोपहर.
दोपहर, yeah. Pahar means the
Do we say
duration,
दोपहर?
do means two.
We say दोपहर हो
Uh,
रही है, दोपहर हो रही है. We did not pronounce it
Dopair,
correctly.
dopair speak those people who are not aware of this word because I have
Many,
already
many
learned
people
Sandhi, which is it is a mixture of two words, do and then pair. Pair stands for the time, and do means
दोपहर.
like you are talking about the time or the whole day has divided into two different parts, two equal parts. That's why
Many
do
people
pair.
say that. Many people say that. Just listen them carefully when you're talking to somebody in Hindi. Just try to focus on their
Sure, I
pronunciation.
will.
One more thing.
Okay.
How to say 12 in Hindi? Number 12.
Bara.
Barah. Barah.
Uh,
Not bara. People say bara.
wait,
11, 12,
wait,
13.
wait. That's what I
13.
said. Bara.
It's not tera. It's tera. No one pronounce correctly. People say always tera, and we understand tera means 13. And that's true. You are not believing because I don't know why you're not believing it. But that's true. People say
Why should
counting.
I believe? Because
11.
I have studied Hindi so well, and you would believe that I'm the only one who got maximum marks in Hindi in
You might be good at
all
Hindi.
aspect. So
I'm not
that's
talking
why.
about.
Yes, I was so weird in English because my English is I couldn't tell you, but yeah. And second thing is like why grammar is necessary when you speak. Okay, minor mistake here and there, absolutely fine. But when you start making blunder, as I was about to do that when I said he don't, like being a trainer, no matter,
But
okay,
it's
unofficial
like
trainer,
if you
if I'm
if you
saying
say
he don't, silly, a very silly mistake, and no one is expecting this mistake from me. So I should blame to myself for using he don't, even though my tongue is slipped. But how could I say he don't? He doesn't is very clear and the refinest way of saying this. I have corrected. Okay, you said you have corrected. I have corrected. Why? Because I knew that rule. But in case if I was not aware of that rule, how could I correct myself then?
you
And
don't need
last
to
but not
correct
least,
every small error. You don't need to correct. And as I said, the example of Hindi, people are speaking wrong Hindi very confidently. They're not going to correct it. They're not saying counting barah, terah, chaudah. No, no one says that. They say 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is how we speak. And if you won't believe, go to anybody and ask count Hindi. He will say in that
and
way only.
as I said, like I was, I'm always changing my thoughts because I want to. Okay, fine. As you have asked something to me, I want to answer, but the answer is like Agra, and I'm giving Ghagra. Doesn't make any sense, no? You're talking about Agra and I'm talking about Ghagra. Why? Because I don't know how to say Ghagra. So that's what exactly happening with me just because of lack of this grammar knowledge. So I feel somewhere grammar plays a very imperative and indispensable role in one's spoken English. I can bet you, ma'am, if you have complete grammar knowledge, you feel so confident that no matter what is topic in front of you and what exactly is someone asking to you, if you have at least 20% area of the topic and an answer, you can convert that 20% into 90%. Why? Just because of that hidden confidence of grammar knowledge. You have learned grammar, you can challenge anyone. Sir, you have
Mm,
made this mistake here in this
right.
grammar. But the way, if you haven't learned grammar in your entire life, so you are the only one who is making continuously a lot of grammar mistake, no matter what kind of melodious, chocolatey, magnetic, delectable, and astronist voice you have, or how many vocabs, fancy, classy lexicons you are using, and what kind of intonation, voice modulation, connotation, collocation you are using. But at least at the end of your conversation, you are the one who is making massive mistakes in grammar.
Grammar is important, but it's not that much. You said that 20% grammar can help you to speak 100%. It's not true. Along with grammar, vocabulary is important. If you do not have enough vocabulary to speak, you are not able to speak, even though you are master in grammar. And I bet you on this person can create structure with the grammar, but at least he needs word to speak. So that is called vocabulary. That's not grammar. So vocabulary is important. Grammar might not important because we can learn it just by listening to others. That's what I want to say.
Ma'am, it was really nice section, nice conversation with you. I want to continue, but just because I have booked one class at exactly 2:30 and it
Oh,
has started, so I need to join that. So
sure. No
thank you,
worries.
ma'am.
We'll continue after
It
some
was
time. Bye
really
bye.
a very fruitful and constructive conversation. Bye bye. Take care, ma'am.
Okay.